Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Sam Spade from the Midnight Devils, and you're listening to In Obscuria Podcast, where we always keep it real, real hard. How hard, you say? So hard, it hurts.
In Obscuria.
Welcome back, my friends, to the In Obscuria Podcast, a podcast where Ronnie James D.O.G. barks a lot.
What is that? What? I was just sitting there and you were all quiet. What are you doing?
Ronnie James D.O.G.
He always knows when to interrupt, just like his owner.
Yes. Where we put things in categories like the lost, the forgotten, or the should have beens. We're talking about obscure rock and punk and metal. And today, we are featuring the one and only Robert Harrison.
Hello.
What's going on, man?
I cannot wait to tell you what I did a couple of days ago, because I know how much you're going to enjoy hearing about it.
Okay.
But I'm also so excited about something else. Push the button.
Oh, I got to push the button already.
Yeah.
I didn't even say my name. I'm Kevin,
hot.
and I think I'm about to get a treat.
Unlike the dog. Happy dance.
That's right, Munchketeers. It's time to get your grub on with the chef that can get it to your funky style.
What are they?
Roberts,
God love eating. On beat.
Roberts,
God love eating.
He's been working on his rhythm. He's getting better. Yeah,
he's getting good,
on
man.
the ones and the twos.
Wow, that's amazing.
All right, so last week you mentioned that you were on a diet of meat.
Yes.
A meat diet is what they call it.
Protein, all
Very
protein.
scientific meat. So tonight we have
Meat.
Meatapalooza.
Oh.
Start with a really fancy one.
Oh, man.
You need a fork for this. Here, I brought you a fork. This is fancy. Put your pinky out.
Pardon me. Do you have any? Oh, let me uncover it. What do we have?
We have meatball and a red wine reduction with sauteed mushrooms and caramelized onions.
Oh, man. You know, my mom used to make something similar to this.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's fancy for South Carolina.
It sure is.
First of all, y'all had red wine. That was not allowed in my house.
Oh, my God. It tastes like it.
Does it?
It was called beef and red wine sauce.
So that's basically what it is, but I think that's a mixture of beef and pork in the meatball. So, yeah, that sounds delicious. I was thinking that just some braised, like short ribs or something with that same sauce in it.
So I took French in high school.
Go away or I shall taunt you a second time.
And I had to bring a dish one time as part of our class. And so my mom said, well, you can make that beef and red wine sauce. And so I thought, all right. And I partnered up with this girl, and she said, come over to my house and we'll make this stuff together. I'm like, all right. And I grabbed that bottle
Sounds
of wine.
like a proposition to me.
I know. I had a bottle of wine. I'm 16 years old. Bottle of wine.
First of all, wait a minute. So your parents trust you enough to just hand you a bottle of wine and say, yeah, go to this girl's house.
Hey, we were in French.
Jeez,
we had to make French food. They
That
drink
never would have
wine.
flown in my house, no.
So I head over to her house. It's about 30 minutes away. I was in the boonies.
Hello.
Yeah. And before I get there, some asshole hits me from behind. I get in a car wreck. And the police come, and I'm like sweating balls. I'm like, oh, shit, I've got wine that's actually been opened.
Oh, it is an open container.
It was already
then.
opened.
Oh, no.
And I was freaked out. But the guy hit me from behind.
So they didn't really
He was
pay
in a
attention to
Honda
you.
Prelude. He hit me in a Mazda SE5, and the front hood of the Prelude looked like it had been like a fan.
Oh, they fold.
It just folded up like a fan.
Fold like a paper airplane, yes.
Yeah. So nothing happened, but that's my beef and red wine sauce. I eventually did make it there, and we had quite a
You're worried about
few
getting
sips of
busted with the
wine.
open container, which sounds
Exactly.
very naughty, but then in the meantime, no, you're going to for a school project.
That's right.
All right, well, here's round two, Kevin.
That was
So
good.
as fancy as that was, get ready for this. I've set you up now. You got to go one more. One more than
I'm
fancy.
so sorry, dog, but I ate every bit of that. Mm-hmm. Oh, here we go. Sliders.
Not just any sliders.
Oh.
Replica healthy crystal sliders.
Oh.
So those of
Was it
you up
keto
north,
bread?
it is keto. It is
keto
It
bread?
is one carb, less than one carb because I shaved it down a little bit.
And it has protein.
Yeah. So less than one carb in that entire bun. And then it is
And I got 2 of them.
ground beef. Yeah.
Am I to share one of these with you?
Oh, if you eat as much as you want, I got more upstairs.
Oh,
In fact, I may go get one.
I have to take a minute
Yeah,
here.
you just go ahead. Tell me if that's not a Crystal Burger right there. Or White Castle, once again, for those of you up north.
I was going to say, explain to the people what Crystal
Yeah,
is.
Crystal, I guess, I don't know for sure. I have to research it, but it's more of a southern thing, and White Castle is more of a northern thing, or northern and western.
This is a tasty burger.
And normally Crystal is great in the moment, but not the next day, because we tend to eat like 12 of them. Well, back in the day we did. But then the next day you kind of paid for it. It's kind of like Taco Bell. But these are healthy.
And you put the onions on it.
In it. Oh, so this is Alton Brown's recipe. I have to give him credit. He just came out with a video a couple of weeks ago, him making sliders, and I've got a new technique. So look up Alton Brown's sliders and watch that video. It's only like 15 minutes long. But
You need to have him over here.
Skill.
He lives around here, right?
yeah, he's up in Marietta. He's about 10 miles away, maybe 8 or 9 miles away, depending on how you get there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This is a tasty burger.
The food porn is strong. Orgy Central at Roberto's house.
Yeah, I had a few of those last
Pickles
night.
and onions?
Yeah, when
Oh,
I was
God.
practicing last night.
Some people don't like pickles.
No, but he
love
said
'em.
they're mandatory. I normally don't like them on burgers, but his burger recipe, he said, nope, you got to put them on there. Same thing with mustard. I don't normally put mustard on burgers.
Yep.
But
This is spot on.
That is spot on, exactly. So all credit goes to Alton Brown. You just take your time. This makes me happy. I know it's tough when you're trying to adjust things diet wise, but
I was going to say that, excuse me, the difference, I think, between Crystal and White Castle is I think they have holes in the actual patty.
yeah, because I learned both of those they don't grill them, they steam them on the grill. So you set them on top of the onions, and normally the buns are a little more steamed. I didn't have time for that, but yeah.
I'm sorry, dog.
Yeah,
I am so sorry.
That is one sad puppy right there, man.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I may have to go get one in a minute. I'm watching you eating it. I'm hungry by
Just
default.
go now.
Yeah,
Just go
let's
now.
just
and get one.
You know what I do need? I need a beer.
Okay. This is the best thing you've ever
Really?
made and handed to me. Yes.
Wow. Crowd goes wild.
And the fact that I can actually eat it.
Yeah.
It's protein bread.
One tiny little carb is over on the side. So if you don't eat that side, there's 0 carbs then. It's only on that one side.
Yeah, as long as you leave a little bite.
Little bite,
Good.
yeah, totally healthy. Onions, fresh pickles, all that is healthy. Mustard, that's healthy. Nothing
gave
wrong
him
with
the
mustard.
carb.
Yeah, he does need some carbs. Yeah, everybody talks about how he's looking kind of thin. I'm like, he's been the same weight for about 7.5 years, but
He's all muscle.
They expect him to start to get portly. Well, they said the same thing for me. In my late 30s, people
waiting
like,
on you to get portly.
The people older than me would always be like, "Oh man, you wait till you get your 40s, you're going to start packing on the weight, and you have to watch what you." No,
Did not happen.
Then my 50s, man, you hit your 50s.
Yeah, but
start
you wait
getting-
till 60 hits,
Yeah,
man.
you wait. I'm hoping so. My pants to fit.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so
you
note to
knocked that
self.
one out of the park.
Note to self: I know which direction to go. See, I gave you the fancy,
Wow.
and I gave you the crystal burger.
Well, the fancy
Bookends.
was good too. It brought back a memory. But
Yeah. But that's funny. Yeah, I didn't know
crystal-
your mother had that recipe. So now I'm going to do it with beef tips or short ribs or something like that.
Yeah, so she did it,
I'm
I
gonna
think,
nail
with
it.
beef tips, and then she would serve it with rice.
Yeah, I was thinking I didn't have time to do the rice thing. So yeah.
I don't eat rice anyway, so
Exactly. Yeah. Not even brown rice? It's just carb still.
No rice.
It's just a carb. Yeah. Either way, it's a different carb. Got it. Okay. Well, I'm going to keep going in that direction. We'll see. It's not as easy next week.
Thank you. Good night.
You're welcome. That's the end of the podcast.
Oh my God,
See ya.
that was so good.
Yeah. So Tuesday, a couple of nights ago, I got a phone call from Mary, Merry, Mary.
But show like the bone.
She's like, "What you doing tonight?" I'm like, "Absolutely nothing now that you called. Cancel all my plans." She's like,
Whatever it was,
"You wanna
don't worry
You
about
want to
it.
go to a concert?" And I'm like, "Yes." Okay, now who's playing? She's like, "Oh, it's the Eagles."
Hated it.
Right down the street at the Brave Stadium.
Is this the show where one of them passed out or something?
No, that was and it was the replacement piano player.
Oh, it wasn't even.
It wasn't even one of the old guys. This dude was in his 50s, 20 years younger than everybody else. How embarrassing! You're the hired gun to back up these old guys.
Yeah,
and he ends up passing out on stage.
Yeah, he probably got fired.
Well, he was there, so I guess not. But bless his heart. But it was good. It was at the Brave Stadium, so it was an outdoor venue. Tedeschi Trucks Band opened. Derek Trucks and Susan Tedeschi.
Yeah.
Great, both of them. Excellent guitar players. I don't know why
Was
they
it
do this.
lazy and kind of mellow, or was
It was back
rocking?
and forth. They had like funky, bluesy, and then several her songs were more lazy.
Yeah, kind of
laid back,
kind of boring.
Yeah, I shouldn't say lazy, but laid back,
a little boring.
And it was all right. And people were getting to their seats, and the sound was horrible. And I was like, "Oh no, this is not good." But when the Eagles came on, the sound was fine. Why did they do that?
You know, I
bands?
don't think the sound would have been fine for me.
Oh yeah,
because I hate the Eagles.
I know. So that's why I didn't call you.
I would have left right after.
We had another ticket.
Tedeschi Trucks. Oh really?
Oh yeah.
Good thing you didn't call me.
Yeah, I told her. I was like, I know somebody I normally would call, but I'm going to skip that. It was one hit after another. The weather was gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Pink sunset. They did 2 hours.
As well as your company.
Exactly. The company was wonderful. 2 hours straight.
Wow.
And they threw in Don Henley solo and Joe Walsh solo. So
nice.
When the other guys would go off stage, instead of just taking a break, Don Henley came out with the backup players and did like solo stuff. And then Joe Walsh came out with the backup players, non-Eagles. And then there was Vince Gill filling in for Glenn Frey and Glenn Frey's son, Deacon, who sounds exactly like him. He was there. So with all that together, it was an unbelievable amount of talent on stage. Joe Walsh was the oldest looking one and oldest sounding one, but everybody else sounded great. And so, like
Joe Walsh still kill it though, guitar wise.
Oh yeah, guitar wise, just shredding and whatever.
I do like Joe Walsh.
80 years old.
Yeah,
on stage shredding a guitar.
No problem with Joe Walsh.
Yeah.
I love James King. I love his solo stuff, the Barnstormer stuff.
And
it's
you
just the Eagles.
You probably like everybody individually, but put them all together. Maybe not like, but
I'm not a big Don Henley fan, but
I can see his more like the 80s synth ballads.
Everybody likes his hit.
But Glenn Frey and you
I like Glenn Frey on his own.
But I understand. So this was the soundtrack of 40 years of me listening to classic rock radio. When I was learning how to sing, I would sing along in the car to all these songs.
I won't deny that they are hugely popular in the United States and probably elsewhere globally for a reason. They wrote songs that people love. I just happen to not be one of them.
Yeah, and that's perfectly fine because I, on the other hand, my version of that is the Rolling Stones.
Oh, you did not say that?
Right, and I love the Stones.
And the Beatles. I don't hate them. I just don't really listen to them. It was always my, almost, not even my parents. It seemed like at the time, music my grandparents would listen to, except they listened to Lawrence Welk. Right. I knew exactly.
Yeah, my grandparents, man, they were old.
Even though they're only 10 years, they'd only been broken up 10 years by the time I started listening to the radio.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. It seemed like they were, because I guess all the footage was in black and white.
It seemed older than it was.
Yeah.
I think that's just, as a kid, anything past 2 years is just ancient.
Yeah. When you're only 10.
Or in another
2
decade.
2 years is 20% of
anything
your life,
that's in another decade is ancient, even if you're only in 1981.
Yeah. In 1976, their hits seemed really old.
Right. Crazy.
So it was a great show.
That's awesome.
And I think this is going to stick as far as being their final tour. They've said that for 4 years.
Yep.
So I don't think they're going to, individually they may be around, but Joe Walsh I think this is it for him. So it was cool to see him finally. And it was good. It was good.
Well, this is the month of May, and we have a concert coming up that we're all looking forward to.
Which next one?
Next week, during our normally scheduled recording time, we're going to see Brit Floyd. We actually talked about this before we even knew they were coming.
Right. We
talked about them hey, would you actually pay? Would you actually pay to go see that band?
Premonition.
And we were like, if it's under a certain amount. And I found tickets for under a certain amount.
Okay. So we have seats. We don't have to stand up.
Yeah, it's in a cool venue.
Yeah.
Right down the street. So that's going to be cool.
Yeah, we had seats. We were out. We weren't on the field, so we had nice seats to sit in, and everybody sat down. And during Hotel California, I'm like, "Fuck it, I got to stand up for at least one."
Was it the Braves Stadium?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I stood up there, and nobody else was standing up around me. I'm like, "You idiots, get up! It's Hotel California. It's like Freebird.
Yeah.
You got to stand up during this."
But there again,
national anthem.
It's literally down the street from your house.
Yeah, it was 1.8 miles, and We Ubered home, which we feel like idiots now because by the time we got an Uber, we could have walked home. I tried to tell them, like, look, Ubering there is fine. Ubering from there is a clusterfuck.
Oh, yeah. Just getting picked up.
They wouldn't listen to me. They're, oh, no, we'll just do this and this.
Their Uber pickup's really small, like the area where they want you to get picked up.
So we had to walk about 3 blocks. And by the time we navigated the crowds, I'm like, we could have just walked home. Yeah. But it is what it is. So, yeah, it's really... I'm spoiled having that venue that close to home, and the Roxy is in the same place. So we got 2 music venues almost walking distance. If I was younger, it would be walking distance, but now it's like, it's almost walking distance.
I'm an old guy. I don't really want to do that.
I could walk there, but I'm not making it home.
There's not really a sidewalk the whole way, is there?
Yeah, there is.
Oh, there is?
There is a bicycle path.
Oh,
not just a side. We're fancy.
Oh, look at you.
We're on the...
Why don't you just take your bike then?
Oh, yeah. I'd have to buy one.
Your Honda.
Yeah, take the Honda. They'll be gone in 5 minutes, man. Everybody will be stealing
you put one of those old school chain locks on
it. Dumb and Dumber. So picture that. Everybody knows that scene from Dumb and Dumber. That's me on my mini bike, yeah.
Got room for one more if you still want to go to Aspen.
Where did you find that?
Some kid back in town traded the van for it, straight up. I can get 70 miles to the gallon on this hog.
You know, just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself!
Yeah, they just heard it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, then after that, only a couple of weeks away, we are going to see the 6-person version of Triumph.
They've been multiplying.
Yeah. I've watched a few more videos. They're definitely
getting the hang of it.
And they're definitely leaning on the other 3 guys to help out more.
And if they have to do that, so be it.
Yeah, that's
Once
fine.
again,
they're playing the songs. Who cares? They're
like
on
the
stage
Eagles.
and they're playing the songs.
I know it's not Eagles 1978. These guys are not in their prime, and I understand that. So it's not like it's going to be a surprise when you get there. So
no, I haven't checked out April Wine, so they're opening the show. I don't know what that's going to be like.
There's going to be one original member in that.
Probably right.
Because they're really old too.
Yep, getting up there. Well, what else is going on? You got something on the table. What is that?
It's a record player.
No, that. What is that? Globy thing.
It's a red ball.
Oh, okay.
I think some people refer to it as a gazing ball.
What the hell you say?
I had it sitting underneath.
So it's for the gays, you say?
Exactly. Gaze ball.
I'm super. Thanks for asking.
Oh, gaze ball.
It's for everybody. We're
super.
We're open to everybody here. So yeah, it's a red metal ball that I bought for some reason several years ago and never used it, and it was sitting under the table right behind you for the past 4 years.
Well, who knew?
And you didn't notice it, and I just moved it 6 feet over to a new position. You're like, oh, look at that.
Yeah, now it's a centerpiece. You know what that does?
What does it do, Kevin? Tell me.
It brings the room together. No, did I get it wrong again?
God, jeez.
If I had a rubber hose, I would beat you.
I'm going to write it down.
Brings the...
I'm going to put it on the wall.
Ties the room
Thank
together.
You. There you
ties
go.
The room.
Yes.
I almost got it.
You're close. Yes, it very much ties the room together. I don't know. It reflects the blinky lights that are on the ceiling, so like the disco lights.
I have to take another picture now that you got the record player and everything else.
I got a couple of cables to get, and then I'm going to have it hooked up tomorrow. So yeah, we'll start listening to actual records again.
Nice.
It's been a minute.
All right. Anything else? We got to tell the people?
We've been farting around long.
Okay. You even need to fart? What? Oh.
After those burgers.
Hearing something on TV about colon cleansing. They say everyone should have one. I'm thinking about getting me an appointment and go down and getting my colon cleansed thoroughly.
You want your colon clean? Fine, I'm gonna clean mine. Yeah, now my colon is clean. I'm talking squeaky clean.
Keep it fart. I hope you fart till your asshole falls out.
Oh, see what you made me do? God damn it, I messed up my pants.
Damn, Daddy. You gotta clean them yourself.
Well, after you eat a crystal burger and realize it goes through very quickly, go listen to Pot of Thunder, Cobras and Fire, Grown Up Rock, Slamfest Podcast, Decibel Geek, Sean Geek and Fast Fret Podcast, A to Z Radio, Metal Up Your Podcast, The Hustle, Disciples of the Watch, Podcast Rock City, State of Amorica, Rock Strikes 10, Potter Than Hell, The Kiss Room, Ages of Rock, and the Podcast Will Rock, Big Owl's Rockin' Podcast, Regarding the Elder, and do not forget about Monty.
Hey, this is Monty Colvin from Galactic Cowboys and Monty's Rockcast, and you are listening to the amazing In Obscuria podcast. Rock on!
Monty's Rockcast. Come visit us, inobscuria.com. Like us, share us, Facebook, X, Instagram. All right, all that's out of the way.
I'm sorry, I'm distracted by burgers.
Do you need to take a break? Do we need to take a quick break for you to go get one?
Maybe intermission. Let's keep going.
All right,
Maybe
all right.
Halfway through.
Well, let's get into this, and then you may say, yeah, halfway. Just give me the times.
That would be a dessert burger.
Dessert burger.
Oh, my God, that sounds so good. Dessert burgers. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
So focus. All right, focus. Here we go, people. We're here to do this. Several episodes ago, we focused, there's the word, on hair bands that had similar names, and we pitted them against each other in battles of hair-to-hair combat. It was bloody. It was a bloody battle. Now, near the end of the episode, Captain Content as Sean Geek would say, took a left turn at Albuquerque and started talking about a different band, just out of nowhere. Came over the top ropes, just out of nowhere. Bam! And hit us with this band that is hairband adjacent, but not quite hairband. And more of our listeners responded about that comment than the actual episode.
Yeah, it was quite the instigation.
Yes. So this was more of a hard rock forgotten gem of a band. And that brief mention, like I said, it sparked a lot of comments on our socials, and our most loyal listeners had stories to tell us. And I was like, damn, he only mentioned it for less than 2 minutes. So therefore, I feel that we have been summoned to deliver today's message to our congregation of In Obscuriacs. Therefore, this is episode 334, Grave Mistake, Zebra.
Oh, yeah.
Shoulda Been Huge.
I can't, it's hard for me not to imagine they were a hair band, but you're right.
They weren't really. They were a little prior to it.
Yeah.
They were more of a 70s band who kind of made their thing in the 80s.
In the 80s, yeah.
But we'll get into this. Before we get into the details about Zebra, let's get the official In Obscuria approval from the Ministry of Diabolica, even though we both urged her to maybe take a day or two off.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't have to
go for a walk.
Yeah. Maybe get out of the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bike. Well, bikes are dangerous. Walk. Just go walk.
Just a walk.
Just walk around.
But
be a pedestrian.
That didn't happen, so let's see.
I am Captain
Content.
And this is my faithful companion,
Mighty K.
Say hello.
I do need a day off. Oh my God. I only work 2 days a week, but I need a day off. Oh my God, I'm going to crash the car.
No.
Kevin, I'm going to tell him you said I can go home. Oh no, it was Robert. Sorry. I had my glasses on and I couldn't see it. Yeah. Jesus Christ. I have my hands on my phone and I can't be doing this shit. Oh my God.
That's exactly why we said don't do this shit.
No.
Hell.
Get some good shoes, some sneakers, Converse, whatever.
Yeah, the snow should be gone by now. Take a walk.
I don't know.
Is it not? Maybe not.
It's probably just melted by the time this comes out.
Okay.
It will have been melted, so yes.
Well,
it's not that deep, so.
Another man down.
Yeah, exactly. Just got
that town's getting thin.
Little hash marks on the side of her car.
That town's thinned out.
She's running out of room.
All right, but she didn't say anything about the episode. We're going to move forward.
Move on. It's tacit approval.
All right, so let's talk about Zebra. The band formed in New Orleans in 1975, consisting of Randy Jackson. What's up, dog? No, not that one. Not that one. Randy Jackson on vocals and guitar. Have you seen him, by the way, the other Randy?
No.
The dog?
No.
Oh, man, he lost a ton of weight. He looks...
Oh, zippy.
Oh, yeah, he looks rail thin. It does not look right. It's just like
kind of like me.
That's not right.
Except I'm all natural.
Yeah, but you've always looked that way.
Exactly.
You've always had Ozempic face.
I am OG Ozempic before it was cool to be thin.
But he's not. It's a different Randy Jackson. Vocals and guitar. The guy with the high voice. You have Felix Hanneman on bass, keyboards, and vocals, and you have Guy Gelso on drums and vocals. These guys started the band together. They have never separated. The band are still together to this day, and it's the original 3 members. There are not many bands that can say that.
No.
In fact, I don't know that I can name one.
Rolling Stones.
No, there's no way that's correct.
I'm sorry. I was trying to impress you.
No.
Well, I mean, not all the original, but the
only
core.
have Keith and Mick.
Oh, that's right. The guys, the dead guys. I forgot about that.
Dead guys.
They didn't like leave the band. They just died.
Well, Bill Wyman left. He's still alive.
I still consider them part of them.
No, Rolling Stones.
You're right.
No.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Call me out publicly.
Yeah. That's what I do.
Yeah. It's easy.
So eventually, even though they're from New Orleans, and a lot of people think of them as a band from New Orleans, they relocated to Long Island, New York, where they built a massive following on the East Coast. So when they were doing clubs, they started off as a cover band. They were doing clubs, and that's where they had their most success. And so they were like, fuck it, we're just moving to Long Island. And so they kind of split their time between New Orleans and Long Island, and those were like their main centers for playing gigs, because that's where the people loved them the most. It's kind of like us. We went to Illinois. We had much more attention and success in Illinois than we did here in Atlanta.
And if I had known how good looking the women were there.
Yeah. But you just brought them back with you.
Yeah, I did. But it was like moving there would have been an option. It would have been very boring except for the shows. But then the women there, good Lord.
Good. Oh,
good old-fashioned American girls.
Corn-fed.
Farm girls.
You're a sexist pig.
Yeah, I put one in an overhead compartment, brought her back to Atlanta. And that was.
He's not lying.
I'm not lying.
We told that story.
Not the overhead compartment.
Right.
No,
Well,
I actually bought her a ticket. I'm not that
true.
kind of guy.
No, I don't think you did buy her ticket. Didn't she just come on her own?
No, I bought her a ticket.
You bought her ticket? Okay.
No, I paid for that ticket. I paid for that ticket, Kevin.
Yeah, that's a lot of ketchup you bought.
It was.
Okay, so back to Zebra. They are known for sophisticated hard rock that blends heavy riffs with a little bit of progressive rock elements, not too much. Their music often features very high tenor vocals and intricate arrangements, and they get compared to Led Zeppelin. Early on, it was Led Zeppelin and Rush, and that sort of continued throughout. They did years of just grassroots touring on their own. They were a 70s band and didn't get signed until the early 80s. They released their first album in 1983, but they had been around for quite a while by that time. That 1983 album, we'll talk about this, it was the fastest selling debut in the label's history at that time, and that label was Atlantic Records. So that's pretty impressive, but yet they're on this episode of Shoulda Been Huge because that was not sustained. They put out 3 more albums kind of back to back and didn't happen again. They couldn't repeat the success. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
But they did get gold certification on that first album. Everything seemed to be going really well, and in their markets, they were huge. Those markets being kind of the Gulf states and the Northeast.
That's odd. Like 2 different quadrants of the country.
Very different quadrants, too.
Yeah,
Very different people.
Especially back in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, totally. So a defining characteristic is their ability to produce this big wall of sound. So I mentioned Felix Hanneman often plays bass and keyboard, so he does the bass pedals. He basically plays the Geddy Lee part in the band, except he's not the lead singer. That would be Randy Jackson. What's up, dog? Randy Jackson plays acoustic, electric guitars. He plays a double neck. Again, you get that comparison to Rush because they did the same thing in the 70s, but he's often seen with a double neck guitar even to this day. And even though they've taken a couple of hiatuses from recording, they never broke up officially. They've been together this entire time. It's the same 3 guys. They have a cult following still to this day. And they were inducted in the Louisiana Hall of Fame in 2010, their Music Hall of Fame, and also the Long Island Music Hall of Fame in 2012. So
how many damn flights back and forth? That's a hell of a bus ride, though.
That is. Yeah, I'm assuming these days it's just flying.
Jump on a plane back and forth.
But yeah, not back in the day. Like I said, they're still active. They're still out there. They started their 50th anniversary tour last year. It continues on this year. And reportedly, they have finalized a new album. They haven't put out a new album since 2003, but apparently it's done. We might have a little taste of it here later today, but it will just be a live cut because it has not been released yet. They had talked about it coming out last year, didn't happen. So now they're saying it's going to be maybe this summer. So let's talk about our history with Zebra. Mine's pretty quick. I heard them on classic rock radio in I want to say the early 90s. I don't even think I heard them in the 80s. And I thought, just hearing the song on the radio, I thought they had vibes of Rush and Triumph. Now, I didn't even know that they were a trio, which both of those bands are power trios, but just the vibe of the one song that I heard, I was like, oh, it's kind of Rush-like. Kind of dig it. And it had a little hint of that same Rush, Triumph, a little hint of progginess in their hard rock, which is kind of what they are. Now, I did not get their music until about 20 years ago, and I was listening to radio again, terrestrial radio, and I heard the same song that I had heard all those years ago, and I was just reminded, oh yeah, I never actually sought them out. I just heard their songs a few times and thought it was cool, but never sought them out. So I found their CDs pretty cheap, and I got their first 3 CDs, and they've been in my playlist ever since. Now, where do I put them in my playlist? I have a classic rock playlist I put them in. I have a hair metal playlist that I put some of their songs in, and then I have a prog rock playlist that I also put some of their songs in. They span all of those with their music, which is probably another reason that I dig them. And I'm not the only one who thinks this, because I looked up where they've been playing recently. They've played the Monsters of Rock Cruise, Cruise to the Edge, which is the prog rock cruise, and they played the Rock Legends Cruise, which is the classic rock cruise.
There's probably 3 other cruises. They could just keep a loop going through the Caribbean.
Yeah. So what's your history? Very similar radio?
I didn't really know about them till 20-something years ago when I bought a car that had satellite radio. And the only 2 stations I basically listened to for the first year were Ozzy's Boneyard, hard rock, and metal, and then Hair Nation right next door to each other. I just flipped back and forth. And it was very a novelty thing, because a lot of the music I had heard somewhere, but being able to listen to it constantly.
You get a few deep cuts here and there.
Yeah, and then the deep cuts, like Blue Murder was one of the and I'm like, who is this band? But they had a song called Jelly Roll. And I'm like, oh, I like that song.
And you were like, I know one day I will be talking about this band.
20 years from now. In a firehouse. What the fuck? No. Never would have thought that. But yeah, so they were in the same category as Blue Murder. I thought they were just a one-hit wonder, oddball band that I didn't really know much about, but I recognized the name when it came on. So Who's Behind the Door was the one song that I knew from Zebra, but I always liked it when it came on, just was too lazy to go and do more research like you do.
Now, you grew up with MTV. Do you remember ever seeing videos for either of those first 2 songs?
No, not at all. I didn't watch Headbangers Ball until I got to college in '88.
And they wouldn't have been playing it then?
No, it was past that. They were true just hair bands and the metal guys and stuff.
I don't think Zebra ever wore spandex.
No, I don't. No, I don't remember. I would remember that name.
Yeah, the name is the thing that sparked a memory, though. I must have heard about them somewhere other than just radio, because when I heard the song that I heard all those years ago, again, it did spark like, oh yeah, Zebra. And maybe somebody at work, because I used to work with a guy that was from Louisiana, so maybe he had told me, you need to listen to Zebra, because they were from his neck of the woods. But I didn't really listen to their music until 20 years ago, and I've enjoyed it ever since.
Were they ever like Striper and they just like zebras on stage?
No, they should have.
Because in the 80s, that was very popular.
Yeah, I don't think they ever did that, to my knowledge.
They missed that opportunity.
I know. They could have been in zebra suits the entire time. One of them could have been in the front of the zebra. The other one could have been the
tail. Just rotate that. Bass player or the drummer.
Yeah. All right, let's get into some Zebra. So before they were Zebra, they were a cover band called Maelstrom. I'm glad they changed their name. They played mostly Led Zeppelin and other technical rock groups of the 70s. So they were playing covers by Zeppelin, Yes, Jethro Tull, and Pink Floyd. Makes a whole lot of sense. Mm-hmm. And of course, eventually they wanted to write their own songs. So in 1975, they had a keyboardist, and he left the band. And they decided, you know what, we're just going to stay a trio. So that's when they became the trio, and that's when Felix Hanneman said, I'll pick up the keyboards. I'll do bass and keyboards. Just, I've got feet. We'll be fine.
I got 4 or 5
appendages. We'll figure it out. I can always hit it with my weenus. We'll be all right.
Boom.
You are a sexist pig, Kevin.
They adopted the name Zebra after seeing a cover of the magazine Vogue featuring a woman riding a zebra.
See, told you.
There you go. They played New Orleans and the surrounding parishes because that's what they have in Louisiana. They don't have counties.
No, their legal system is very antiquated. And yeah, it seems like you're a French province, which they used to be, but they never changed it. So
yeah, it's a different world.
They have parishes.
So after they traveled to New York, like I said, they found their best audience, and the appreciation for their music was in Long Island. So they said, screw it. All three of them moved to Long Island. They figured, you know what, we'll be closer to New York City. That way we can pursue a record deal, and it worked out for them. So a little bit more about this, we'll just let them tell you.
Hearing their music on the radio in New Orleans before they even got signed. I mean, that just didn't happen. When they got signed, and they had the fastest selling album in Atlantic Records history. Yeah, they were definitely sold faster than Led Zeppelin.
Who's Behind the Door was the big one. And that's the one that actually, when we pressed up our own vinyl called the Homegrown album, made it right to Homegrown and sold just zillions of copies locally in the days of vinyl.
Personally, I never thought Who's Behind the Door was anything more than a throwaway song. As funny as it sounds, I love the song now. It's a very pleasant song to play. It's got a great feel and explodes at the end.
I used to love going to Old Man River, doing my zebra.
There was a guy on the radio station who did a voiceover, and it said, "Old Man Rivers keeps the music rolling along."
There's a lot of great songs. Tell me what you want.
I've been wasting my time. Oh, oh, oh.
It's a song about the high is fine, but don't be cynical. The game is still the same.
The good news is the president of Atlantic happened to live on Long Island, and he happened to listen to the cassette that I gave him, which was a miracle in itself. And that night, as he was listening to it, when he finally popped it out of his cassette player, listening to Who's Behind the Door, when he popped it out, it was playing on the radio.
The audience reaction was unbelievable. I mean, the phones just would lighten up. I mean, every time we take a call, oh, play this cut, play that cut. And the reaction was just phenomenal. Record sales, of course, that day went through the roof. I mean, it was just nothing short of phenomenal.
All right. So there's a little bit from one of their DVD releases that I thought was cool. So let's hear the song that I first heard on the radio back in the 90s, and then I heard it again in the 2000s, and it persuaded me to pick up their 3 albums, and it is one of those hits. So let's hear from the first album, 1983, Tell Me What You Want.
I've been wasting my time. Oh, I am losing my mind. My head's on the floor, forevermore. I have given you all that I have. With the slam of the door, you've driven me mad. Now I'm sad. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you want.
That's it. A little bit of keys, a little bit of progginess. Great recipe for a good song.
Yeah, 1983. It makes total sense that when I heard it, probably again, it was either late 80s, early 90s when I heard it. It was Triumph. It reminded me of Triumph, and I had only heard Triumph a little bit.
Yeah, because
so
Rick's voice
very
back in the
similar.
day, it could hit those upper ranges too.
Yeah, and Randy is actually still hitting these notes. That's
amazing.
Listened to some of the YouTube performances, and I was like, damn, it's
There's
not
limited.
quite as easy as it used to be,
Right.
but he's still hitting it.
It's insane.
Which is crazy. And
The guy
they
from
haven't lost a thing.
Steelheart does a pretty good job. Once again, not the
quite as
same,
old, but yeah.
But amazing to be able to hit those ultra high. These aren't just high notes, ultra high notes.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk a little bit more about this first album because it's a bit of an anomaly. It should have sent them into the stratosphere. We shouldn't be having this episode, really. It was released in March of 1983, and like I said, became the fastest selling debut album in the history of Atlantic Records at that time, moved over 75,000 copies its first week, and it went gold. It was produced by Jack Douglas, who's legendary for producing Aerosmith and Cheap Trick and John Lennon and all these classic rock artists. So great production. There's a reason it sounds huge, and peaked at number 29 on the Billboard charts. That's not bad for your debut album. And in 1983, especially, think about what was on the charts in 1983. A lot of competition.
Men at Work.
They were there, yes. I'm thinking like Michael Jackson and Hall & Oates, and you've got you know Phil Collins,
Toto.
Toto. There was just a lot of competition. So to be able to get to 29 is pretty amazing. Now, while they were on tour for this first album, they were doing headlining club and theaters, and they toured extensively headliners in the areas that we talked about. So in the Gulf states, here in the States, and in the
That's so
Northeast,
weird. Very
they were just
specific.
selling out venues.
Like at two opposite extremes, the difference between the Gulf states and 1983 and Long Island.
Yeah, they did tour the rest of the country, but they didn't have
Not the same.
the same kind of response.
But give it to them for being smart enough to go, okay, let's not beat a dead horse.
Capitalize on that,
Yeah.
right? Well, they did go to the West Coast, and they took a little band out to open for them. It was a new band at the time. They thought, well, we'll give this band a shot. They were called Queensryche. Queensryche, opening for Zebra.
Young
on their-
whippersnappers.
Yeah, and then they got called up for some support shows. So listen to these tours that they were on. Pretty good. Here's another reason they should have really been bigger. They were the support act for Loverboy in 1983. That was a good gig.
Huge hit.
That was a big gig.
Just heard that on the radio today.
They were the support act that same year for ZZ Top, who happened to be doing Eliminator
Oh,
at that time.
massive hit.
Huge. They toured with Sammy Hagar. Yeah, he wasn't, well, was that VOA? It might have been around VOA. I think it's prior to.
Yeah.
83?
He was known.
Around there. It's
But
around
he
there.
hasn't. He hadn't taken that next leap once he joined Van Halen.
Yeah, I don't know.
It went
I don't know if
through
I
the
can drive
stratosphere.
55. It
Yeah.
may have been out already, but anyway, Sammy Hagar was still big, especially in the Midwest.
Yeah,
it's huge. And they opened for REO Speedwagon, who were having the best success they had in the 80s in 1983 as
Right
well.
in their power ballad, they had the
Yes.
big. They were at their
Big power
peak
ballad.
then.
They were at their peak. So again, all of the signs are there that this is a band that's up and coming.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're selling records. How could they possibly go wrong? But that's not exactly what happens. But I do want to play a deeper cut from the album. First of all, before I do that, did you know that first song as well? Did you know Tell Me What You Want?
I mean, I do now.
Oh, you don't remember hearing that one?
No. Well, it was that one or Behind the Door. I can't remember which one I heard on satellite radio.
You mentioned Who's Behind the Door
Yeah,
last time, so I'm assuming that's what you heard. This was the one I heard. I didn't hear
It
Who's
might have
Behind the
been this
Door.
one. I can't remember that far back.
But those were basically the two songs that if you heard Zebra,
Yeah, maybe it was both.
those
I don't
were the
know.
ones you probably heard. And they did have videos as well. But I'm going to play another song from this first album. The first album is so strong. It's just, one song after the next. It's like, damn, this is just a good record. So I'm going to play the song, as I said before. I think this is a great cut.
And I said before, I don't want no more. And I can't complain to my mind's insane. I won't say it again, and I won't even think about it. I just hope you believe me, but I think that you're gonna doubt it when I say it again. And I said before, I don't want no more. city lights that took the present breeze. Tides rest the shore, leaving me a little more. Nothing in a bite, me everything the lights we hope I get my dream before. Down, lay down, second eyes down my way. Don't let the evenings at the power line forever. Down, lay down, second eyes down my way. Don't let the evenings at the power line forever. And I said before, I don't want no more. And I can't complain, my mind's insane. I won't say it again and I won't even think about it. I just hope you believe me, but I think that you're going down when I say it again.
Once again, just the right amount of keyboards.
Just a little padding behind.
In fact, I want to buy a keyboard just for that one sound, that effect.
The chorusy kind of
because now it sounds
stringy.
It's what you hear when electric cars back up.
I hate that sound.
It feels like you're dying and you're ascending to the pearly gate. You're like, oh my God, this is it. I'm going to heaven. No, it's just a car backing up behind you. You're like, damn it.
At least they make some noise. Sometimes you don't hear them at all.
Yeah, I'm ready to get hit. I get a little cash infusion.
Yeah,
but that song in particular reminded me of early Journey, where they had just the good rockin' songs before they were known for the Journey we know now.
The big ballads, the big epic.
Yeah, but it was just good fun rock, upbeat, little bit keys, a little proggy, so very similar.
Yeah, I could hear equal parts of Zeppelin, The Who, Queen, as if covered by Triumph. It's like to me, that's what Zebra are. It's like all a mix of all the things that make up that rock with just a little bit of progressive edge to it.
They're just a perfect amalgamation of all these bands just rolled into one. But
exactly,
maybe that could have been their downside too.
Perhaps
they didn't have their own identity.
I don't know. I mean, these we're in the MTV age, 1983. You had a lot of bands that were trying to establish a look and what that meant. Videos were huge. I mean, videos made or broke a band.
Flock of Seagulls. A bunch of tinfoil and some hairspray made that band at least that song a hit.
And they were young and they went with the look.
We talked about that video. Oh my God, did you see that video? Yeah.
Did you see those guys?
They was in a turntable and they kept just spinning around. Did they get sick? I don't know.
But Zebra didn't really have a look.
No, I've never seen pictures of them. I still to this day don't know what they look like.
They look like a bar band. I mean, they're not ugly dudes, but they're not Duran Duran.
Okay, well,
and so in 1983,
that's the extreme. Those are sexy bitches. Come on.
So in 1983, maybe that was part of it. You know, they couldn't transition. They were a 70s band who just happened to hit their peak in the 80s.
They needed a stylist.
Yeah, and they didn't have it. But of course, the bands that we're comparing them to also did not have a look. I mean, Rush were still very successful. Triumph were very successful. None of them were lookers.
Yeah, those were the D&D crowd, kind of.
Exactly. And I think it's probably the same fans for Zebra. I could be wrong, but it could have something to do with the mainstream success. Yeah. And because they were kind of late to the game. If you think about Rush, you think about Triumph, they both started in the 70s.
Yeah, they had hits back then.
So they could build into the 80s. This is a band starting in the 80s, and they're competing against the MTV Pretty Boys. And the music they're playing lies somewhere in between a lot of different things. That could be the other thing. I don't know. So we get to 1984. Their second album, No Telling Lies, comes out in September. It's also produced by Jack Douglas. Again, phenomenal production from this guy. They were trying to build on the momentum of their debut. And so they went a little further into what was happening at that point in time. It was a little more polished, a little more melodic rock, heavier emphasis on the synthesizers, and they even played different instruments than just the guitar, bass, drums that they primarily did on the first album. So they got a song with some saxophone. They have piano in it. You know, they're mixing everything in. But that's kind of what's happening in music in general at that time for rock bands, unless you're going down the heavy metal path, with which they weren't there yet.
No.
They were still, going down the Foreigner path and the bands that were
That's a good example. Yeah, Foreigner,
mainstream.
Another good example.
Yeah. So this album came out. It peaked at number 84 on the Billboard 200, and they did have a hard rocking song called Bears, which got some radio airplay, but they did not have any hits. And I doubt if you don't know Zebra that you remember the song Bears. It's not actually one of my favorites. It's okay, but This album definitely sounds more processed than the first one. It's not as raw, and there's a lot of that 80s sound to the drums, which kind of, it was just the time. It's what everybody was doing.
Exactly.
But it's that gated, heavy snare sound, and there's some programming on it. But I love the title cut, so we're going to play the title cut, No Telling Lies, 1984.
So if I remember correctly, from the, let's say, mid-'80s up until sometime in 1991, it was really cool to basically sing soprano. And the higher you sung, the cooler you were, and the more of a dude, manly dude.
Manly dude.
It was very odd.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Until the 90s came and everybody wanted that baritone.
Like I said, about 91. Yeah. Sometime, for some reason, around 91.
And then we wanted Yarling.
Yeah. Went the other way down. Maybe this was either too soon for that or it was just too much, is one of the thoughts on that. And you nailed it. It had a lot of that synth trickery at the time. There was 7 or 8 different things that really were unique to that point in time that they had to squeeze in there. So it felt
this sounds like 1984.
They had a producer maybe going, oh, you've got that button, push that button. Okay, now do this. And maybe too much of a bandwagon song.
I don't know. I still really, really like it. But if we're talking about why it didn't break through, yeah, maybe that has something to do with it. It's definitely not as much of a 3-piece rock band album that the first album was.
No.
You definitely have a lot of other things going on. But that was kind of what every band was doing. So I don't hold that against them.
They're not the only ones.
No,
we're not
no,
picking on them for doing that.
They were
but
following suit with what was going
other
on.
bands made it out of that. Either it was a hit, or they survived it. One of the two.
I mean, this would have never have been a single or a hit because it was just it did have proggy tendencies. But this would have appealed to the Rush crowd. This would have appealed to the Triumph crowd. So,
but a band like the Cars had all of those same trickery things in there, except for the vocals. The Cars were full of these synth things, but it was more synth pop.
They did
new wavy, and they could get away with it. But also the vocals were different. The songs were a little bit different. But it wasn't just the notes and the sound effects. It was just in the wrong song.
And the Cars are credited for creating a genre in a way. They're kind of credited for creating new waves, so they get put on a pedestal even more. If you go back, have you gone back and listened to deeper cuts from the Cars?
I've been meaning to. I was getting nostalgic about that.
You should,
because I had their greatest hits, which I wore out. Yeah, and I started thinking about that. I'm like, wait, I don't think I've ever really dug really deep in it.
You should do it because their hits are hits for a reason. They sound like hits. They wrote them to be hits, but those deeper cuts, it's almost a different band. It's pretty cool.
Well, I remember like Heartbeat City and some other songs that were really trippy songs, like Floydian-esque.
Yeah. If you dig in deeper, I think you'll find some neat little just intricacies that you didn't hear in
I got all that from my sister. She was a huge Cars fan, so I got her hand-me-down cassettes. When her boyfriends would like copy or make her a cassette, whenever she broke up with them.
High-speed dubbing?
Yeah. Whenever she broke up with a boyfriend, then she'd like dump all her stuff on me, like, I don't want this anymore. So I get off those cassettes.
Nothing sounded worse than to high-speed dump something. It saved you time, but man, it sounded like shit.
We grew up in the lowest quality crap.
Just the horrible.
Went from albums, crystal clear albums to cassettes, crappy cassettes.
Crappy ass
that have been sitting in a hot car.
And even the first CDs that came out, they were just transferred directly from the tapes. They didn't do any remastering.
It was compressed, or it was.
They just compressed the show.
No, I was like, oh, this is the space future? I don't know. Not real happy.
So let's take it back to Zebra in 1984. Touring slots for the second album. No Telling Lies comes out. They go on tour. You know who they get put with? You're not going to believe this. They served as a high-profile opening act for a band on their Animalize World Tour, 1984-85. They opened for Kiss.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
The one and only.
Kiss Connection with K. There you go. Yes, they opened for Kiss on the Animalize World Tour. That would be the second tour without the makeup, and the one that they filmed for the MTV Animalize Live, uncensored.
If you don't want to see ugly men, don't go watch that.
Yeah. Or Gene Simmons do a bass solo. This is the worst bass solo I've ever seen in my. It's just horrible. It's even worse than Michael Anthony.
I just saw an article. He's ripping on Flea.
Ripping on Flea?
Yeah, he's like, I just don't like it when a bass is slapped.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
he's like,
you didn't play funk, dude.
But he's just going off on him. Like, I don't understand the music. I just don't like it. I can't do an imitation of him.
I don't want to hear him speak anymore. I love Kiss. I love Kiss, but I don't want to hear either one of them say a word. Like, you retired?
Yeah.
Retire.
Yeah.
Go away.
Go away. Yeah. That didn't win him any fans.
Zebra goes out. They open for Kiss. That's huge. The exposure put them in front of a massive, arena crowd. Now, I'm not saying that Kiss were as big as Kiss was in the 70s, but they were still
a brand.
They were still
name.
going platinum with Animalize, so they still did well. That was a pretty big hit for them in the 80s. And Zebra's opening band. It's great. And then after the Kiss tour, they go out with a little band called Triumph. A band that they were compared to.
A better
often.
match.
2 trios. That's pretty cool. I don't know that I've ever seen a double trio bill. That's pretty cool. That would have been awesome.
Sad that Triumph didn't go on with Rush now for this final tour.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Do an abbreviated set. You don't have to do a full concert.
That would have been
do
really
the hits
cool.
and a couple extra.
Yeah.
And man, 2 Canadian trio. Well, that would have been a trio, but still, neither one of them are. They're going.
Neither one of them are trios anymore.
Yeah, but still, that would have been an amazing bill. Both of them together.
Oh my God! In Canada, they would just explode.
Yeah,
they wouldn't know what to do up there.
Riots in the streets.
But what a great match! You got Zebra and Triumph. Maybe it was too great of a match. I don't know. Maybe it was too weird to have like 2 similar bands.
Triumph was huge.
And then they went on tour with Molly Hatchet.
What the hell did you just say?
Okay.
Okay. They did the East Coast with Molly Hatchet.
Third man disaster.
That's bizarre. But that was the 80s for you.
Yeah. It was a weird.
And then they did their headlining thing. So even though the album didn't sell as well, they remained a huge sellout of venues in the Northeast and the Gulf Coast. Still doing well in their home bases. And they leaned in on that and did their own shows there.
Probably making decent money. I mean, if you're just touring kind of Long Island, your expenses probably aren't that much. You're not having to fly cross country. And
yeah, I mean, you're
playing clubs and
you've got
theaters.
Big crowds there. Even if you're playing clubs and theaters, you've got a lot of clubs in Louisiana. I mean, there's probably one on every corner.
Yeah,
you go to New Orleans,
grab your guitar and walk down the street. All right, here's the next show. Probably do 2 shows a night.
They're doing their first 2 albums. Plus, they had songs that didn't make it to their first 2 albums that they had done in the 70s. So they had a big catalog. Plus, they're doing a ton of Zeppelin covers. They were known for doing Zeppelin covers, and I bet they did.
It sounds like
really
it'd be a
well.
great party band. Like,
yeah,
just
big party.
Have fun time.
I think I should play another cut from their second album. Even though it didn't do as well, it's a damn good album. It also is the best album cover that they had. It's a chessboard, a black and white chessboard, and it's just a picture of the knight instead of a horse. It's a zebra. It's pretty damn awesome.
There you go. See,
it's
once
just
again,
simple. It's just simple and cool.
They need to call Kevin.
Yeah, that was
Talk
great.
to him about graphics and their font.
Great choice. Great choice. They had a great logo too. It was simple but cool. I like it. No Telling Lies. It's not on the banner yet.
Yeah, I was looking around.
Next banner. They'll make the next banner.
Oh, that's going to be a big banner. This is 2 years old, isn't it? We've been talking a lot, so yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just wrap the whole room.
Well, I'm going to take off the bands that we've played, so we'll just have to take off some of the ones that we've had on the games.
Oh,
because we don't want to repeat the game.
Yeah.
We don't want to repeat the same band.
Yeah, I understand. That's fine.
We'll
Because
replace it with some other.
logistically, when we travel, a bigger banner is going to be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
No.
Let's just keep the same size.
Exactly.
The infrastructure for this banner is already here.
All right, so I'm going to play a deeper cut from No Telling Lies, 1984. This is Drive Me Crazy, what Robert does every week.
Is that Fine Young Cannibals cover? Drive me crazy. Oh, I hated that. God. I can imagine how fun that would have been live. They must have been a great live band. All these songs
They are a great
just sound
live
like they're
band.
rocking. But that song sounds like it's from 1978. And what year did that come out?
84.
84. I think by 84, MTV was firmly an establishment. And I just think they didn't quite get on that bandwagon.
Well, and you've got the hair bands.
Starting to come by 84, that's what I'm saying.
You got Van Halen on top of the world. You've
True.
got the hair bands falling right behind them. Motley Crue.
They cleared the path.
All the Hollywood bands.
Same thing when grunge came about. They just cleared the docket. The record companies just pushed everything off their desk and just focused on grunge. And they probably got in that same boat where they didn't get any attention after that.
Yeah, I think you're right. It does have more a 70s feel to it than it
without
does
all
an
the
80s feel.
keyboard stuff on it. That was just a solid rocking.
It's great,
like a Jay
But
Giles
you're right.
band.
You're right. In '84,
I think Jay Giles band was also kind of a New York live band that had a couple of hits on the radio.
from Boston.
Or Boston. Okay, so Northeast, just a good party band that everybody loved to go see live. The Tubes, another band. That's West Coast, I think.
Yeah.
That was just a great live band, good fun band. Had one hit.
Yeah.
That never translated
one
into
They were
international
crazy.
success.
They had a crazy stage show.
I need that's a YouTube.
Yeah, you should go
hole.
watch
I need
the
to go down
Tubes.
because I remember the MTV video. It was a kind of sexy video for 1982 or 3. Whenever She's a Beauty, maybe earlier. But anyway, I was like 12 or 13. I'm like, there's a woman in a negligee.
Yeah.
What?
Fee Waybill, the singer, he used to dress up in drag, and he would like do this extreme glam looking before glam metal.
Yeah,
Like
I have
extreme
seen one
glam
video.
looking dude.
Yeah, I saw one, and like the stage would rotate, so there'd be
crazy.
a completely different scene. And it was more of a theatrical performance
exactly right.
with music,
Right.
versus going to see a concert.
And they were somewhere between punk and rock. And, yeah.
So that's kind of what I was thinking of, was those late 70s, early 80s bands that are just great live party bands, but that didn't necessarily translate.
Yeah, well, it did early on, but I think you're right. This is like a turning point. 84, you're really locked into the 1980s.
Yeah,
then.
80s
Like, the
had
80s
its identity.
It has its thing. It has its new heroes, and it's the MTV generation.
By 92, the 90s had its identity.
Yeah,
a
same
little
thing.
earlier.
Yeah.
But in the 80s, it took until like 84. You're right.
Yeah, I think you're right. Because if you go back and look, even with Zebra being a new band, but if you go back and look at the bands that had huge hits, most of them were established bands from the mid to late 70s.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that might be something there, but it doesn't take away from the power of this music and how good this band is.
No.
We haven't talked about the proficiency of the musicians. My God, they're good. The drummer, Guy Gelso, is amazing. And for that time, it's almost like a Neil Peart. It's not quite on that level, but he's not too far behind. I mean, the guy could just do all sorts of little nuances and little tricks that just you didn't hear from the metal drummers, or they weren't there yet.
Yeah.
And just really good musicians. Randy Jackson's guitar leads are amazing. He does remind me of Rick Emmett, this style, and just shreds, but it's that early shred.
Early
It's
80s
not-
shred. We've talked about that. It's a different shred.
It's not the Van Halen inspired shredding.
Well, it's just speed.
Yeah.
And trickery.
Well, it's just a different sound. A different sound. I mean, Eddie basically gave the 80s a voice in guitar.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get into the third album, self-produced by Randy Jackson. So at this point, the labels gave him creative control and said, okay, I think it was I don't know if it was supposed to be their last album in their contract, but it ends up being their last album in the contract. Yeah. But they gave them control, and they put out an album that is further away from their Led Zeppelin kind of 70s roots, and they were trying to lean more into the 80s, but they also, in doing so, they also went way more progressive, probably than maybe they should have.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of critics consider this a sophisticated album and compare it to Rush and Yes. I don't know that I really hear that, but I've read several critiques on this album where that's what they were comparing them to. And I don't think it sounds like 80s Rush or Yes, but we'll see what you say. It's good. It's an interesting album. I'd say half of it's really good, and then half of it's just sort of
filler.
okay. It's kind of filler. And they're definitely leaning in on the polished sound of 1986, which is when this came out. And I know I've made the statement, I think you agreed with me, the most 80s of the 80s years was 1986. Like, that is the most 80s the 80s ever got. And this album came out that same year. So even though it was kind of critically acclaimed, strong songwriting, what have you, it didn't even chart on the Billboard 200. And mainly because Atlantic Records, I think, had lost hope in them by this point, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know, they just said, everything's shifting to hair metal. You guys aren't going there. You've decided to go this different direction, and we don't know that we believe in it. And so I think that's the reason it didn't go any further with Atlantic Records. I mean, there's some brilliance in here, but there's also just some filler as well. And they transitioned from an arena opening act back to a headliner in clubs only. They didn't do any major tours with this one. They stuck to what worked for them. Their cult following was huge in the Gulf states and in the Northeast, and that's what they focused on. Makes sense.
They could probably sell out as many club shows as they wanted in those two places.
They made their money, you know, where people loved them the best. And I think that's very smart for them. But now the name of the album is 3.V, which I think just means
version 3.
Version 3, but
Volume 3.
Volume 3. Yeah. I don't know. Not a great cover. Kind of, they could have done a little more art-wise on it to maybe help the cause, but they didn't.
They didn't call you.
They didn't call me. In 86, I was definitely free.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, after school, I was totally free.
If you had a ride.
Yeah. After skateboarding.
Before homework.
Yeah, before homework, they could have given me a call.
Yeah. After
but
church.
They didn't. Yeah, right. I had youth group.
Youth group, yeah. You got to go to that. I had that too.
All right, so I'm going to play one song off of 3.V. This is a killer song. It's called Better Not Call.
Just when I wake up, baby, you call. You're driving my mind up the side of the wall. I gave you my best now, I'm begging you please.
Damn. That is in the encyclopedia. I just looked it up on how to start a guitar solo. It just, there's no build up to it.
No,
it
man.
Kicks open the door and there's the guitar solo.
And he's like, yeah, give me the bridge.
Yeah.
But I want the outro too.
Yeah,
I'm just going to shred.
I'm not done yet. But yeah, that's so many thoughts. So that sounded like an amazing song from 1982. That's one thing. I didn't think about Night Ranger, who also had a lot of success earlier in the 80s.
Yeah.
Not really any big hits that I can remember. They tried. They had the hair. They weren't a glam rock band, but they had the long hair, and I think they were trying for that. But they didn't quite turn the corner, but they had more success than Zebra did.
Absolutely.
But what if Zebra had sat down and went, you know what? I do kind of want to go in that direction. They wouldn't have been, Motley Crue, Iron Maiden, but they could have been more like a Bon Jovi, where their songs were
totally, yeah. But they didn't have the look. They didn't have the image.
I guess, yeah, there's only so much you can do with that. Bon Jovi did.
Yeah. Bon Jovi was big because Bon Jovi was sexy.
Some good-looking dudes, yeah. I guess so. You're right. Once again, I've never seen these guys, so I'll have to go back and
they're not bad, but they're not Bon Jovi.
Yeah, I know what you mean. They're not Kip Winger.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah.
Polished white teeth. But, not all the hair bands were great looking, but they were decent looking. So, yeah, that's one reason I was never a big hair band, because I just was pretty awkward in 1986. My Adam's apple was as big as my head back then.
I love this song, and this album's, like I said, it's a little bit hit or miss, but when it hits, it hits. And this song especially hits. Yeah. And I was thinking, if you take the 80s production away from this, strip it back a little bit, take the keyboards completely out, this song would have actually done well in the 90s.
Ooh.
Get the hell out of here.
She's totally serious, asswipe.
Now I've got to go back and listen to it.
Yeah, just strip out the 80s stuff, the tropes that they use. Yeah, I mean, it had a little bit of that, but he was playing actual drums. But still, it's a well-written song.
Yeah.
It's that kind of song that, like I don't know, the alternative pop bands of the 90s.
Yeah.
I could have seen this in that mix.
Oh, but that's where we talk about a well-written song is a well-written song no matter what generation it's from. You can take it and put whatever flourishes you want on it, and it can be from 20 years ago, 20 years from now.
I mean, it's just catchy, and I don't know if you noticed, but they didn't use the helium on this album.
His voice was more just middle of the road.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's part of the reason that the critics liked the album so much is because there was a little less helium in the vocals.
Yeah, and doing that once in a while, but I could see where that would get old listening to it entire. And I have, it's been 2 or 3 weeks, but I tracked through probably 10, 12 songs. And yeah, there's some of you like, okay, here we go with the helium.
The ultra high, yeah.
It wasn't just high; it's ultra high.
Yeah, it's higher than high,
and it's not an operatic high. How do you describe it?
It's like a head voice almost.
A cartoonish voice.
Yeah. But
Nice manners, babe. Chill.
Maybe a nuance kind of sound that some people will
love
not
it or
like.
hate it. Yeah, very polarizing.
Yeah, very. Okay, so let's get into by 1990, where Atlantic Records says.
Okay,
we're probably done with you making new records. You've got one left on your contract. Let's just put a live album out.
That's the standard procedure.
And so that's what they did. On November 25th and 26th of 1989, Zebra played at Sundance in Bay Shore on Long Island and recorded both of those shows. And then they put it out as Zebra Live, their last album on Atlantic Records in 1990. So between 86 and 90, they released no new material. They were just touring the places where they did well, and they were still selling out venues. So, they had a formula that worked, and it kept them employed, and that's what they did. This album features 6 songs from the debut album, 2 songs from No Tellin' Lies, 3 from 3.V, and 2 brand new songs, as well as a Zeppelin cover of The Ocean. Now, I'm going to play a song that was recommended by our friend and former guest, Jeremy Patterson. And I'm going to read his comments because he shared a cool little story with us, so let me share this with you. This came off of, again, the Hair to Hair Combat show, and instead of talking about the show, he decided to talk about Zebra, which you mentioned for 2 minutes. So he says, and the chairman did the same.
Not only have I derailed this podcast, I've derailed other podcasts in absentia.
Probably, yeah. So here's what Jeremy says. A little input on Zebra. Since they're based out of New Orleans, my parents were always way into them. I actually saw them live at 37 Main in Beaufort probably 9 years ago or so. That's near Atlanta. He said, I used to live across the tracks from there, so it was fun to pregame and then walk over there when they were, when there were good bands playing. And so it's been the same 3 guys in the band the whole time. So they had to be at least in their 60s at the time, and they fucking killed it. I was blown away by how much rocking they actually do. He said the version of Wait Until the Summer's Gone from their live album is 1,000 times better than the studio cut. It's much heavier. So let's hear that song right now and see what he's talking about. So from the live album, this is Wait Until the Summer's Gone, Zebra.
Just a few minutes ago, I was wondering what they would sound like if they went a little more towards the metal side of things. And
there you go.
That answers it right there. Thank you, Jeremy.
Crazy good.
Great suggestion.
And my God, Randy Jackson can play the damn guitar.
Yeah. And once again, the 3-piece live, when it's time for the guitar solo, everybody gets out of the way. And you can clearly hear the guitar solo. It's not muddled at all.
And you can hear what the bass is doing.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, like with one of the downsides to the Tedeschi Trucks band is I think there were 3 guitars on stage. So when he's wailing on the slide, the rhythm and everything, and plus the sound system for them, once again, no idea why they sucked sound-wise, but the Eagles sounded great. It's the same sound system, isn't it?
It should be.
Yeah. Anyway, so they were just really distorted and muddled. It was very muddled. And now with this crystal clear guitar lead right there, we just heard. That's
you got a different
really
sound
good.
man, different mics.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
Bad luck. Anyway, so this sounded great. Clearly hear every note of that guitar solo.
It could be Joe Walsh Sabatucci.
God, he sounds drunk when he's perfectly sober. It's the most amazing sound when he does interviews. Back in 1973. Yeah, I can't even do his voice. You got to drink for 60 years straight.
Oh, man. So, killer live album. There's some new songs on there that aren't on any of their other albums. That song is actually from their second album. Just a great song. Atlantic, however, they dropped them in 1990 after this was released. This was it. And then the 90s was mostly a time of solo albums and other projects for the members of Zebra. They didn't break up, like I said, but they
just took some time off.
Didn't really tour or anything. Randy Jackson formed a solo band called China Rain. They put out an album. And then he also joined a supergroup called The Sign, which had himself with members of Kansas, Black Sabbath, and some other bands. And they released one album, which maybe we'll check that out in one of those episodes.
Supergroup fodder.
And then 1992 to 1996, Jackson worked with Lone Star Technologies on The Key, which is an interactive multimedia musical instrument used by artists like John Anderson of Yes.
Ooh.
So he got nerdy on us. Got nerdy. And then
I love it when they talk nerdy.
and then they officially reunited, if you want to call it that, in 1994, but they didn't resume touring until later in the decade of 1997. By 2000, they started writing and recording again. And once again, Randy was the producer because they weren't on a label. They were doing their own thing. And then on July 8th, 2003, they released their fourth album called Four. Or if you don't speak Roman, you may call it IV.
IV.
Yeah. So 20 years since the release of their first album, they put out their fourth album. And it's less gloss. Obviously, it's 2003. They don't have the 80s sheen on it that they did on their last album. So it's more of a bigger live kind of sound. And they went into theaters and clubs again. They were doing their touring evening with Zebra. And they played, I think, the first album and a lot of the new album. And I'm just going to play a single cut from this album. I'm going to pick my favorite cut off the album. It's called KK is Hiding. And I'm not sure if the song's about KK Downing. Maybe they love Judas Priest. Maybe. Or maybe they love Slayer.
Oh, that's right.
And Kerry King. Maybe it's a nod to Kerry King. Maybe, and this is probably it, maybe they really wanted to be on a certain cruise. And so it's about, maybe it's about the...
It's hiding. Where's that boat? Where's that boat?
Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's my prediction. Is something like the hantavirus. It's going to break out on the Kiss cruise.
No.
They're not going to let them dock anywhere. So there's just this boat that just
Well, the good news is the Kiss cruise is landlocked now. So it's only in Vegas.
Sure, yeah.
So I think, they're going to give all of Vegas.
Just spread it around.
Cruise funk.
Never thought it'd be the hantavirus. Of all the things they spread.
Ew!
Gross. All right. Let's hear a little Zebra from 2003. See what you think. Who's it about? KK is Hiding.
Watching everyone, thinking to the clear nose. He's not a toy.
not bad for self-produced, well written. His voice was more within a reasonable range on that. He, went up to the stratosphere, but it wasn't annoying.
Yeah, I agree. It's still there. It's still the zebra sound, but it's almost like he has a little more control of it, even, which is interesting because they're older here.
20 years later.
But the album is really good. It's a little mixed as far as what types of songs they kind of mix up the types of songs that we're writing, but it's all strong. It all sounds good. It's it's a band in the studio, probably recording mostly live.
Yeah.
And putting on some embellishments. I mean, his slide playing, I don't know that I recall him playing slide on much of the earlier work, but my God, it sounds good there.
Yes, I agree.
Amazing. And pretty sure it was about the Kiss Cruise. I think they were trying to get on. I think that's what it was.
They couldn't find the boat. KK is hiding. Where's that dude?
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. I mentioned that for the last 20 years, they haven't split up. They've still been touring and playing various cruises and events and playing their bass. And then it was announced in 2023 and 2024 they were celebrating the 40th anniversary of their debut album, so they were touring and playing that in full. And then in 2024 they held a Zebra weekend at the Fillmore in New Orleans, and that was filmed for a future release. Still hasn't come out.
So we'll patience, see. It's only been 2 years.
And then throughout last year and this year, they're celebrating their 50th anniversary as a band. So it's their 50th anniversary tour all across the U.S. They've done the Northeast, the Gulf Shore, along with some dates in California. They have upcoming shows still yet to come in Illinois, Mississippi, and New York.
What is up with you people in the Midwest? What is up with you guys?
I don't know. So apparently the recording, like I said, is finished for their 5th studio album. Now I'm going to go out on a limb. It might be called 5. I don't know. Well, we'll see. We'll see. It could be V.
Taking a leap there, Kevin.
I don't know.
Just hold your wad there, fella.
But they've reunited with legendary producer Jack Douglas. I'm surprised the guy still has ears.
Yes.
But I hope they worked.
Speaking of somebody who's half deaf, yes, I'm surprised.
Yeah. But they got Jack Douglas back. I got him out of the home. Say, hey, come on.
We need some more reverb.
But the guy that did the first 2 albums produced this new album, so we'll see how that goes.
You dicks!
Apparently, they have a mix of unreleased songs from 1977, so some older material that they never recorded, which I mentioned they had songs back then. They just didn't make it to an album. And they've written some new compositions. So apparently, in quotes, it's going to release later this year. Of course, that's what they said last year. We'll see. They also have a documentary, a career-spanning documentary titled Tell Me What You Want, 50 Years of Zebra, that's in production. Again, possibly coming out this year. We'll see. But they did a whole bunch of film, what do you call it when you... Compilation of a lot of old footage.
Would that be a montage?
A montage, yes. Perhaps.
You need a montage. Even Rocky had a montage. Always fade out in a montage. If you fade out, it seems like more time has passed.
Montage. Yes, never before seen footage from the early days in New Orleans and Long Island, so that should be pretty cool when that does come out. And they have been playing some of the new material live on the tour that they're on. So while we wait for the official release, I grabbed a little fan phone recording off of YouTube. It's not going to sound great.
Oh, boy.
It's not bad.
That's what we've reduced to.
It's not bad, but I think it's a good way to see what we're in store for here with this band. So this is live at City Winery, Boston, back in October of 25. And he happens to mention, we're going to get a third connection, because he happens to mention who he wrote this song with right up front. So here's Zebra, Walk With You.
It's another new song, and I wrote it with Mr. Paul Stanley. It's called Walk With You. See you.
definitely hear the Stanley influence.
Definitely. Little Stanley Eisen.
Yeah.
Thank you for the freaking Kiss connection. Appreciate it. Thank you for remembering.
You got that wrong, honey. It's not Kiss. It's Kiss!
He was a little struggling with the higher range, but it's understandable.
It's live too. It's it's also an iPhone probably. You don't get the best sound, but they still sound damn good.
Yeah.
And these guys are, pushing 70, if not in their 70s.
Yeah.
So pretty amazing.
I couldn't hit those notes now. I'm not 70.
Exactly. They still sound great. Yeah. They sound a little older. They are.
Yeah.
It's 20 years
They're
later.
still on stage. He's still writing songs with Paul freaking Stanley. How cool is that?
Yeah. From Kiss. A third Kiss connection.
Uh-oh. Keep going. Keep
we got to squeak one more out here.
We'll figure it out. We got a couple of minutes.
Well, hopefully I delivered on the band that you mentioned.
Yes.
And our listeners, obviously, they validated.
But we're missing a song.
We are.
Yes.
Well, you're right. We can't end the show.
Yes.
We can't end the show.
We got to
play this song.
Got to play the song. Yes, please do.
How about a live version?
Okay.
All right.
Because it is my favorite song.
All right.
And it's what started this whole thing. I heard
it's what started the whole conversation.
About a month or so ago, working on the car, and this song came up in a random mix, and it called me, and I'd heard it before, but it's like all of a sudden I listened to it, and I stopped what I was doing, stopped the song in the middle of it, went back to the beginning, and listened a couple of more times. That acoustic beginning of this song is what really got me, and you're floating in this acoustic intro, and it just slowly, all of a sudden you're easing into the song, and so just pay attention to that. And
then it just builds,
and then it just builds,
and it has this epic ending.
Yeah, just you're floating along, and then you're kind of just coming down a little bit, and then boom, there's the song kicking in. So that's what I loved about it.
All right, well, let's see what it sounds like live in 1990. Zebra, who's behind the door?
We sailed away. We walked 1,000 miles and then we slipped away. We looked so hard, but couldn't seem to find just what the world is for. Now we know what the journey's for.
Yes, that's a song right there. Damn.
And there's no crazy lead on it. I mean, there's a lot of cool acoustic playing, but there's no crazy rockin' lead on it.
No, it's still a badass song. It's an epic song. Just a little proggy in the sense that it just changes one direction in the middle of or towards the end. And but that acoustic intro into just this epic song. Start small, build it, and just have this great finish.
Yep. I was thinking, so the original version of that dropped in 1983. There was a festival in 1983 that Triumph played on. Can you imagine if Zebra had gotten a slot on the US Festival, what that would have done for their career? Because
it made Triumph.
Those other bands, it kind of broke them to a mainstream.
Motley Crue,
Scorpions. I mean, all those bands, Ozzy even.
Yeah.
It kind of brought them to the forefront of mainstream
From
success.
Just the diehard fans to the broad audience.
Quiet Riot.
Yeah, that unheard of.
Can you imagine if Zebra had been on that?
Yeah.
It could have happened.
Yeah.
And they're such a good live band. They would have come off like Triumph.
Yeah.
Where they just, holy shit, they kicked ass because they're such a good live band.
I mean,
shoulda, coulda.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Yeah. There was a lot of bands that if they had gotten on that bill, nobody knew at the time. I mean, that turned out to be an incredible concert. Was it Steve Wozniak?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Apple.
Yeah. Apple money.
Yeah, Apple money. I think he lost a lot too.
Yeah, that was not a profitable event. Right. I'm pretty sure he had a lot left over.
Yeah.
That was what he found in the cushions of his Cadillac and his Lambo.
His 2CI.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully, if you weren't familiar with Zebra, hopefully you are now, and you're going to go out and buy their 4 albums that are out there and get the live album too, if you can find it.
Yeah.
It's hard to find that one, but you can get it digitally, or you can just go stream it. Go to YouTube, watch their videos. They were great live albums. See how good they were. If you happen to be in a town that they're actually touring, go check them out. Let us know how they are.
A damn good show.
Wherever there's a city winery, I'm sure they're playing.
Just take some.
That was a great venue, though. That was a cool.
Take some extra cash. Drinks are not cheap.
They're not. Yeah, you were there.
Oh yeah,
the Swear played City Winery. It was kind of weird.
My bar tab was $60 for 2 drinks, and
good room, sounded good. It was kind of weird for our band to play there.
But something named Winery and your band, it was a little odd pairing, but at the same time I knew, hey, I've got a seat and the sound system was going to be good.
Well, and we were playing with an American Idol guy, so it made sense.
It worked.
We were the opening band.
Everybody stood up to see you guys and came to the front of the stage, and then he played and everybody sat down.
Well, we got that going for us.
Yes.
All right, man. Well, that's what I have. Zebra should have been much huger than they were.
Yes.
In my opinion. Good band. Thank you for bringing that to the forefront. And for the people listening, thank you for saying that, you guys should do a little more with them. We did it. Here it is. Enjoy.
What other band we're missing? Let us know.
Yeah. Tell us about it. Until next time, people.
See you later.
That you are dumbass to me. You are, I repeat, a dumbass. Perverted? Yes. Dumbass? Yes.
Nice manners, babe. Chill.